Well, it's Wednesday, July 2nd, and I haven't done a video in a couple of days, mostly because the stuff that I've been doing is pretty boring. Been doing a lot of painting and prep work, and the weather has not been very cooperative. It's been raining a lot, and all I can really do is work inside the Quonset hut. I'm doing a lot of painting, as I said, and with the rain, it's not very conducive for paint to dry. So it just makes things much more difficult. It takes a lot longer than you anticipate. Anyway, I did get enough done to do a video, so I'm going to just flip the camera around and start to show you what's been done. All right. So this is the back side of the Quonset hut. I painted all around the fan box, or where the fan boxes will go. And that's about 3 coats on there. That's the summer peach, I think it's called, and that's what the rest of the building's gonna end up being. That's in preparation for putting the fan boxes in. So actually I'm going to be hanging the shutters that came tomorrow, so I wanted to get some paint on here so I don't have to worry about trying to paint behind the shutters. So this should be all set for the shutters to get hung. And speaking of the shutters, let me go inside and I'll show you what's been done with those. So I'm going to shut the camera off and I'll turn it back on. Okay, these are the shutters. You've seen them before, but I have now basically taken each set and made one shutter out of each of those sets. So you can see there's a bar across the top that has screws going down into it to hold the top together. Same thing on the bottom. There's a bar, and then on the back side, you can see that I've put fairing strips of wood here, 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 and here, so that it makes the whole thing a lot stiffer, and the screws come from the front into those fairing strips. So it's fairly rigid. I think it'll hold up fine. And the hinges for the shutters came today, a day early. And of course, nothing works perfectly out of the box. So these are the hinges. I had to make my own holes here because these holes basically, if you try to put a screw in there, miss the wood or is too close to the edge of the wood here behind it. So I wanted to move these screws a little bit further inward so they get into the center section of the wood behind here. And there are a couple of screws that actually hold these together behind here. Show them. They were kind of tough to get in. I just put them in at an angle here. There's 3 of them all together, and they just kind of hold this thing, knit it together. And yeah, and then I can actually mount those tomorrow. Now, the fan boxes, let's talk about that. This, all of the fans are now almost done. Or the fans are actually mounted. All of the fans are mounted. And these little things here on the side, the special nuts, they went in just fine. There was no issues there. And 3 of these fans are identical and 1 is an oddball. And let me show you the oddball one. Let's see, which one is it? I think it's, yeah, it's this one here. You can see that the motor speed controller here is different. It's not integrated in with the motor like the other ones. This one, these little screws here, this is a real kick in the teeth. They're nothing but 5/16 SAE carriage bolts. And that's what I originally had these extension nuts for. But the other three are the metric M8 bolts. So this one is different, and it just basically uses the original extension nuts and carriage bolts that I had. So I think this one here is an older style fan because, first of all, I bought 4 of them, and 3 of them are the newer style with the oddly shaped bolts here with the angled head on it. And this is the only one that has the standard SAE carriage bolt on it with a straight across head. And I think the newer ones, the ones with the angled bolts, just represents a more sophisticated approach. So they changed their design and went with that. And then this was probably just left in inventory, and I just happened to get one. So yeah, it works just fine, just like the other ones, but has the SAE bolts. And then some things sort of worked out serendipitously. This, the fan here, it doesn't really move when it's plugged in. I mean, it doesn't vibrate like I thought it might, ever so slightly. But I had some of these bungee cords here, and I just put them and attached them up there to the mending plates, and that just basically keeps this thing from moving around too much. So just kind of holds it in place. And I don't have to hardwire anything because in place, if I need to, I can basically reach around here and touch the controls and change what speed I want if I want to. So I can basically just leave the fan units as they are and just plug them in. And if I want to change the speed, even in the other ones, I can just reach around here and change the knob speed if I want to. So then I also cut a couple of pieces of metal sheathing from the stock that I had left over, and that will go basically, these things here, that will go behind here on the outside to cover this center section. So I have 2 pieces, they'll overlap, and so everything on the outside will be metal, and I will caulk that so it's nice and sealed. And then basically I'm ready to put the fan units in. Now, one thing, 2 of these fan units, I actually have the screen put in. And I think I was mentioning that I was going to try a couple of different ways to hold that screen in place. And the first thing I tried was nothing but just putting these plates on and screwing them down. Well, that didn't work because the surface area all the way around would have to be absolutely perfectly flat. And I'm working with framing lumber here, and it's damn close, but it's not perfectly flat. So I needed something in between this outer piece here and the actual fan box. And the first thing I tried was the double-sided sticky tape, and that really worked well. It's got a little bit of thickness to it, so you put it on and then you put the screen on and then crank down on these screws here with the fender washers, and it smushes it together, and it really does seem to hold it quite well. So I didn't even try the other type of tape that I had, which was like that friction tape that you put on the floor if you want to, make sure people don't slip. I didn't even bother messing with that because I think that the double-sided sticky tape is definitely the way to go. It's also very helpful when you put the screen on. When you cut this piece here, it comes in a roll. So when you cut a square piece, it's still like kind of has the shape of a roll, and it's difficult to work with. It's probably one of my most difficult materials to work with is this screening material, because you have to cut it to the right size, and as soon as you cut it, it starts to basically unweave itself. So you've got a lot of like fibers popping off the side. So you got to be really careful, because if you get one of those stuck up your fingernail as you're moving around like I did, it's not very pleasant. Trust me, it hurts. So, you've got to cut it exactly right. And in fact, you have to cut it maybe 1/4 of an inch less than the width of the fan box. And then put one side on the sticky tape and push it down so it kind of holds there. Pull it out and tighten it with your hand. You got to tighten it a little bit. It will stay if you push it onto the sticky tape and you start to roll it out so that it goes flat, and pull on it on the other side and then push it down. It actually does stay because the sticky tape will hold it. And then you put these pieces, these clamping pieces on the outside, and tighten them down. And if you're careful and you do it right, it will actually work fairly nicely. Now this one was the first one that I did. And it's actually better than the other one, the second one that I did. But I only had enough sticky tape to do 2 of these fan boxes. So I've ordered another 2 rolls of it. So that's going to come in the next day or 2. And when I do that, that will finish up all the fan boxes, and I can then start to install them in their place here. So again, tomorrow is mounting of the shutters on the outside, and maybe also putting this metal sheathing on there and getting that all caulked and put into place. And then finish the screening on the fan boxes, and then they'll be ready to go. And then this thing here, this is basically just a way to close off a fan box if I ever wanted to, for like say a storm. So it will just go into, it has to be cut to fit specifically for each fan unit because they're slightly different. But this would just go in here like that, and then this thing would just flip down and hold it in place. So if I got a big storm coming and I just want to shut everything up for the storm, I can use these cover plates to seal it all up. And then when the storm passes, you can just open them back up again. So the shutters will be able to open to expose the fans, to be able to put these in place. But then when you close them back up, they'll be held in place with screws. So you do have to use a screwdriver or a drill driver to actually remove the screws so that you can open the shutters. So that's the plan for those. And I think that's about it. I've just done a little bit more cleaning and organizing over here. I got another shelf unit just to organize my stuff. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully in about 2 weeks I'll have the garage doors coming and I can start to frame those up. And that'll be a big improvement. I won't have to spend all this time opening and closing these tarps to shut it off at night and open it up in the morning. So that's it. Talk to you in the next one. Okay, time for an update. Thursday, July 3rd, I think. Yeah, the 3rd. Tomorrow's the 4th. And I think all the prep work has finally started to yield some progress. So let's go around to the back of the Quonset hut and take a look. All right, here we go. So let me flip this around. And you can see I actually have 2 fans installed. All right, so basically what I did today was this bottom part here, there used to be this metal sheathing came up to about here and went all the way across. So I got my cutoff wheel and cut that down along here and up and got rid of this. So that opened up the 2 fan box units to bring air in. Then on the center section here, there is, if I can get you closer, but this piece of metal and this piece of metal, I think I had showed you the other day I had cut. So I got them installed and caulked and buttoned up all down the middle here. I kind of did make a little mistake here by not having this overlap to the outside, but the same thing is going to be a problem down here and here, so I don't think it's a really big deal. I caulked the hell out of it. It should be fine, plus there's going to be shutters installed over top of that. And then I caulked everything, all the metal, here, all the way around, all the way down to here, all the way along the bottom, and then buttoned it all up with the aluminum nails that have a little neoprene ring on them to seal it against the building. And then everything was caulked. And then I tried installing 2 of the fan units, and that went pretty well. They fit like tight, but pretty much perfect. The only thing I had to do was on this one, this batten board here, I had to slice a little bit off, like a 32nd of an inch off the one side to get it to fit in there. And then I did the same thing up here on this one, and then they fit like a glove from there. And this little piece here, you can see there's a little missing piece. I'm going to replace this one with a full length one. I've already got it cut. It's being painted, and I just need to get the second coat on it, and then I can put that one in place there. So, big day. Tomorrow I will get the shutters installed. I took them out here just to test them for size. That should go pretty easily. It's just 3 hinges, boom, boom, and boom on each side, there, and there, and then somehow secure it in the middle. I'm thinking just a board with a screw that goes there, and it just holds them against the building. We'll see tomorrow. I'll test a few different things, see what works. But yeah, so, and then the rest of the sticky tape, the double-sided sticky tape came today. So tomorrow I can also put the metal screening on the other 2 fan units, and hopefully they'll slide into place as easy as these 2 did. So just take you inside here. This was the little slice that I had to take off the batten board, just that much to get it to fit. And then in the inside, everything's been caulked all around, everywhere. And I'll tell you what, it feels good. There's a lot of air moving through here. With 2 more, yeah, it'll be great. And then I'll take these wires. I got a couple of boxes. I'll just mount on the wall and some switches. I'll run those wires over and put them here and here, and then I'll just have an on-off switch for the fans. And like I said, if I need to change the speed, you can actually reach around there and adjust the speed if you want to. So again, no hard wiring of anything, just leave it as it is and turn it on or off. So that was my day. Yeah, and these are the shutters. I took them outside, got the hinges on, boom, boom, boom. All I need to do is make some screw holes, put them on. I should be good to go. So I think I got maybe another 2 days worth of work on these fan units. Gonna make a couple more of these. These are like storm battens, just to cover them up if there's a big storm coming. And that should really be it, I think. And then the next job, if the garage doors don't show up, will be putting some lighting along the ceiling here. I got some cool ideas on how to do that. It's going to be all LED lighting. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. Anyway, good day, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I thought I would try to document a little bit better how I put the stainless steel screening on the backside of fan units. So it's going to be a little choppy. I'm going to start and stop the camera a lot just to capture the important bits, but the first thing I'm going to do is to drape over the fan box with the stainless steel and cut like an oversized piece. So, not easy to work with. It catches on absolutely everything, even the little fibers coming off the wood. All right, so I bought this pair of scissors here, like massive scissors. It does a decent job of cutting through this stainless steel screening. Cut this piece off just so I have a roll that's not all wonky. Now I can get rid of this big monster roll. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is there is a line about ½ inch down from the factory edge. I'm going to put that on the bottom here. And try to use that to line it up reasonably well. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of fairing strip, and I'm going to lay it down here and mark a line with a permanent marker of where I should cut the sized piece, which is going to be about 3/8 of an inch smaller than the actual outer dimensions of the fan box. So let me shut the light. Okay, so let's see if we can get a decent line here. Problem is it just warps out of shape so easily. I have no straight lines to work with. Barely see. I can barely visible. perhaps we're going to try something different. Make it a little easier. This is the double-sided tape. I'm going to put it along the bottom here just to see if I can get at least one side set, and it might help me cut and measure the other sides. Put it right on the edge here. So this has a piece of cellophane or plastic or something. It's like the only thing that this sticky tape won't stick to. So peel this off. See if I can use this line to get it on here. That will hold it pretty well while I'm working with the rest of it. And it is very quickly okay, so I flip this around. This is the bottom over here. This is the one where I put the sticky tape in. And I've just been kind of tugging on this to get it taut. And then I've made little marks on where it is right maybe an eighth of an inch, quarter of an inch from the edge here. So now I have a line I can cut to. And then I'll put sticky tape here and then mark this. And when I put the sticky tape down here, I'll try to just tack it in a couple of places so that I can lift it up and cut along this edge. So I'm going to give that a try. All right. see little strands popping off here, which if you're not careful, they'll stick you real good. Okay, so let's try to put the sticky tape on this side. Man, it's sticky. Whew. From the center, if I could. Actually, looks reasonable. I'm going to put the sticky tape on this side. Tape sticks to sticky tape. I'm going to be able to get that off. It's so sticky. It's not so good. Okay, here's what it is. And I mark this side, pulling on it a little bit, make sure it's, when it's tight, it's not going over the edge here. tape on this side. Do this a clean cut here. Same mistake over here. Pretty taut. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to trim a little bit here. Let's see these strands coming off. I want them sticking out because they will stick you. Do is put the clamping pieces on, and I should be good to go. Alright, so I got these clamping pieces on, hopefully in the right orientation. What I'm going to have to look at is this one because I can't see it. it. Seems pretty good. And that should clamp down on that sticky tape hard enough to literally embed the fibers of the screen into the tape, between that and the back side of these clamping boards. And we'll see if it holds. Okay, it's July 4th. Time for an update. So we had some rain, we had some sunshine, we had some rain, we had some sunshine, you know, the typical. Anyway, it's sunny right now, so that's a good thing. But let me take you inside and show you what's going on. So flip around. All right. So I have fan number 3 installed. This one went in really easy. Just pretty much slipped right in. That was this guy here. He's actually number 1. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Number 4 only needs to have the screen put on the top and then the compression boards screwed into it, and it will be ready to go. So I think easily tomorrow I'll have that done. And as you can see, there is some shutters installed as well. So let's go outside and take a look at those. Let me grab my drill driver here, impact driver, excuse me. And I can unbutton them and show you how they open up. So yeah, it was about an hour ago, it was like thundering and spitting rain, and now it's beautiful. So let me come down here. There it is. Shutters, yay. Yeah, they went on pretty easily. I got to do a little adjustment. This one down here, it ended up, the hinge is right on a nail. So I've got to cut that nail head off and put another one in. But let me open this up here. Let's see. And then we can just swing them open. There you go. Just like that. And I had to make these little bumpers for the shutters, so that when they come onto the building, the shutters don't hit. It's just these little bumpers, and it keeps them parallel with the hinge over here, because they are slightly offset from the building a little bit. You can see there's a little bit of a gap here. So that's it. Pretty happy with that. And then I'll just have a little bow tie there in the center. Maybe I'll put one down in the bottom and at the top too, I don't know. But for now, I think that'll just definitely keep them closed, and just in case we get any high winds. So yeah, that's it. Looking forward to getting that last fan installed and then just wire them up, and I think I'm done. So good day. All right, see you in the next one.